Dude, I watched somebody piss like 10 times today.
Who?
My uncle.
Oh.
We were golfing. Just couldn't stop pissing, man.
Drinking beer?
Drinking beer while we were golfing. Just couldn't stop pissing.
What beer?
It seemed like a mix, but there was some Coors Lights in there. Can't remember everything he was pulling out.
It was all just a haze of beer and piss.
It was the Mother's Day tournament. He did not win.
That's a shame.
It's a shame.
That's a goddamn shame. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pacific Standard, guys. My name is Carter, and with me, as always, are my two mustachioed co-hosts, Mason Winter.
Hello.
And Abel Stoika.
Hi.
Today, we are...
I don't have anything clever to say.
Today, we will be discussing the film Mission Impossible. I don't know why I'm doing that with the C's. I don't know. Mission Impossible. What year did it come out, Abel?
It came out in 1996.
All right, Mission Impossible. Mason, what happened?
What happened?
Yeah, what happened? What happened in the movie?
Tom Cruise is our protagonist, and he plays Ethan Hunt, who is who does he work for? CIA?
Impossible Mission Force.
Okay. So he works for the Impossible Mission Force.
The IMF.
That's not true.
And the start of the movie is basically his whole team gets killed and he's left alone. And he finds out that the whole mission they were sent on was kind of a fake mission to root out a mole among them. And because he's the sole survivor, it seems likely he would be the mole. So he's on the run. And is it fair to say, he's not exactly trying to clear his name throughout this movie.
He's kind of fucking around. Like, he's kind of just messing around with this guy, Kittredge.
Yeah, Kittredge is a higher up in the CIA. He's in the CIA, right?
I think so.
He is the actual mole.
No,
So
he's not.
Isn't he? Yes, he is. He's Job.
No, Joe. That's Jim. Jim is Job. Kittredge is just a regular CIA guy. He's not.
But I thought Kittredge was dirty.
No.
He's kind of a piece of shit, but he's not dirty.
I mean, he doesn't shower, but he's not dirty.
These movies are very confusing.
Well, yeah. A bunch of money gets deposited into Tom Cruise's parents' bank accounts to make it seem also like more evidence leaning towards him being the mole. He's trying to steal this list from the CIA of all the undercover operatives they have stationed around the world. He assembles, a crack shot team.
They're all disavowed IMF people.
Oh yeah. He uses the disavowed list of people who are no longer active undercover agents. Puts together a team. They break into the CIA. They steal the knock list of all the undercover operatives. Tom Cruise delivers that to his buyer, Max, what is she actually? What does she do?
She's an arms dealer.
Okay. So she's an arms dealer in Europe, and her code name online is Max. And Tom Cruise corresponds with her over email, and then he meets with her. He delivers the list to her. And then it's revealed one of the members of Tom Cruise's team from the beginning didn't actually die. He was the mole. He killed everyone else and picked off everyone else. And now it's a duel between, what was his name?
Jim and Ethan.
It's a duel between Jim and Ethan. I'm struggling to even remember what happened to Jim.
Ethan used his glasses to incriminate Jim and prove that he's alive to Kittredge.
Oh yeah, because it's like a live feed to Kittredge.
Jim blows up in the channel.
Yeah, they die. And Max gets arrested because Kittredge is there. Ethan is no longer disavowed. He's reavowed. Him and Luther, the other disavowed guy who turns out to not be rogue operative, they're buddies. And then it ends with a teaser of, oh, hey, do you guys want to see another one of these? And they made 7 more.
Yep.
Where was he heading at the end? It wasn't Jamaica, or was it?
They referenced the Caribbean. I don't know if he was flying there, but they were showing him a movie of the Caribbean, but it's implied that they were just giving him a mission on the tape.
Sequel soon?
Yeah, it took them 4 years, but they did get one.
And that's the worst one. The second one is the worst Mission Impossible.
The second one is the only one that's bad, from what I can remember. I haven't seen it in forever.
I watched them all a couple years ago.
It's hard to pick a favorite.
I didn't know it was adapted from a television show.
Oh.
But the intro scene, where it's kind of a cut comp of different little scenes and different people, kind of portrait style almost, it gave me the vibe of a TV show intro and not like a movie intro.
Yeah, it's a 60s spy TV show, and it's awesome. That's why the theme song's good, because it's a 60s TV show theme song. Same with Hawaii Five-0. I don't know if your moms watched Hawaii Five-0 when you were kids, but
no.
Dude, that Hawaii Five-0 intro, it's based off it's the same intro that they used in the 60s, and it slaps so hard. It's so fucking good.
The only thing I know about Hawaii Five-0 is that song.
Yeah.
Just goes hard. Huge drum roll at the beginning.
We've done 2 movies this month that I am going to call post-Matrix, pre-Matrix action movies. Now, what could Carter mean by that?
Movies that released within 3 years after the Matrix.
Not even that. I mean movies that the Matrix happened. It showed that you could make action look good on film in America, and they were like, nah, fuck that. Why would we do that? That's the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard. How about instead, we don't do that, and we fly this helicopter?
I mean, this is like 3 years before the Matrix, I think.
Oh shit! Never mind. So it's a truly pre-Matrix movie.
Which I think that honestly makes it better.
It does. Now the helicopter blowing up in the channel is okay.
The best part of this movie, the scene I always remember, is the Langley heist of the knock list, where they're going into that vaulted room with the triple security protocols. Like, the sound editing in that scene is so intense. Like, there's no music, and you just see him floating there, and then there's that rat that comes over, and I don't even know what he does. Does he kill it with his head, or strangle it really quick? I don't even know what happens.
Yeah, it feels like they just cut back and it's curled up on its back in the background.
Yeah, I'm confused about what happened there. That's the best scene in the whole movie. That's the iconic Mission Impossible scene. It's on the cover of the DVDs and stuff for this first one.
Well, yeah, and him rappelling down.
Yep.
Yeah, Mission Impossible. Yeah. Da-na-na, da-na-na. Yeah.
So Mason, have you seen any of the other ones?
No, part of 5, I think, or 6.
Does this make you want to watch any more of them?
Potentially, if what you're saying is, honest, that they're all kind of better, except the second one you kind of said is an outlier in that case.
Yeah. I would say this one is good. The second one's bad. The third one is about the same level as this first one. 4 is incredible. 5 is good. 6 is good. I thought 7 was on the same level as 4. 4 and 7, I think, maybe are my favorites. And then the 8th one, which is coming out this month, is a part 2 to 7. They were shot back to back. And they're not titled as part 1, part 2, because part 1 didn't do very well. But they already had it filming, so they retitled it to, instead of Dead Reckoning Part 2, it's The Final Reckoning, which is a really silly name.
I think we've talked about how movies in this kind of vein can take things a little too far in the terms of outlandish things happening.
Yeah.
But I feel like leading up to that point, as series like this get more popular and they just get further bankrolled and get a larger budget to work with, they can do cooler things and actually play out what maybe they envisioned at first and not have to cut things because they're just like, oh yeah, we can't feasibly do that.
Yeah.
Plus, you're working with a guy like Tom Cruise, who's
a maniac
known to do crazy shit.
No, that's the best part of Mission Impossible.
Yeah, he's like, I think I looked it up. He's 63 this year.
Okay, for me, the Mission Impossible franchise is what the Avatar franchise is to, what's his name? James Cameron, where it's just an excuse for Tom Cruise to do stunts. James Cameron does it so he can do 3D and he can do crazy like visual effects, and Tom Cruise does Mission Impossible so he can convince a studio to have him under insurance while he hangs off several flying things or jumps out of a plane. That's why he does it.
Insurance has got to be so expensive.
What are you planning to do this time? We're going to just dangle him off a biplane. By what? By his toes. Are you going to use wires or anything? He said no wires. He said we're not allowed to use wires. But that seems like a bad idea.
They do use wires, though.
Barely.
They just remove them.
Are you kidding? Dude, I saw a dude get yanked in this movie.
Not in this movie.
Like wires for those stunts.
Yes, in this movie.
I'm saying
in this movie, yeah, there's that guy get yanked.
He just like
Yes.
nothing, no outside force should have affected this man at all, and he just got pulled through a window.
I'm saying in later movies, the stunts, there's less and less. Like, didn't he do a stunt where he was like, all right, in this stunt, I'll be holding my breath for 87 minutes or whatever the fuck he did.
I'm going to hold my breath for 15 minutes.
And, like, everyone was like, you don't need to do that. And he was like, yeah, but I can, so fuck you.
It's why we go to the movies, Carter. Don't you know?
That is a big part of the marketing.
He personally thanked me when I went to go see Dead Reckoning Part 1 2 summers ago. He flew out to Pullman, Washington and was like, yo, thanks for coming out, buddy.
Cinema is back. I'm Tom Cruise. I'm not insane.
It is, dude. Look, I saw Thunderbolts, and I'll talk about that later, but I was reading into it, and that scene where Yelena, in the beginning, like, jumps off the building and then does, like, a parachute.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be a stunt person doing that jump, and she, like, pleaded with Marvel and Kevin Feige to, like, do it, and they were like, no, we don't want to deal with the insurance ramifications of that. And then she, like, just kept going, and then they let her do it, which is crazy because Tom Cruise just does all of his own stunts. He's like, I don't know, maybe he owns an insurance company. Maybe that's why he does it.
Well, that's also how they market the movies. All the marketing is like, in this one, Tom Cruise is hanging off a plane. In the next one, he's gonna be upside down in a shark mouth. It's gonna be fucking
when we were
crazy.
filming this one, he snapped his ankle in half.
You can see that moment. That's the take they used, man. It's fucked up.
In this one, he shit his pants out of fear. And you can see the crap stains in his pants afterwards because he never cleaned them.
Tom Cruise would never shit his pants out of fear. There's a man with no fear and nothing to lose.
Maybe he shit his pants because he's like 63 years old and flying out of fucking buildings.
He shit his pants because his body is rejecting the virgin blood.
Did you see Nick Offerman recently talking about him?
No. What did Nick Offerman say?
He was on a talk show and he had just filmed something with Tom Cruise. And he was like, he's just such a passionate person who's solely focused on one thing. Like, he's always worrying about
L. Ron Hubbard.
He's always focused, like, how can we make the audience more on the edge during this scene? Like, how can we improve this here and tweak this here? He said every now and again that focus solely turns on you and you just melt. And he was like, I think I'm in love with Tom Cruise. And it was so funny hearing Nick Offerman say things like that and act kind of like ditzy when talking about Tom Cruise. He's an intimidating man.
He sounds like it.
Nick Offerman? Or Tom
No,
Cruise?
Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't want to piss off Zion's chosen messenger.
I would say Nick Offerman would be, but he has such great comedic delivery And if you've ever heard his like real laugh, it's such a funny, like high pitched giggle for him to have. It's great.
I think he does it on Parks and Rec a couple times.
Yeah.
Or something similar. That's a great show.
I like that show.
I like that show a lot.
I either had like 1 or 2 seasons left that I didn't watch.
It gets a little weird towards the end, I remember, but yeah, it was pretty good.
Emilio Estevez in the beginning of this movie.
Uncredited for some reason.
Hold on. Yeah, I wrote was Emilio Estevez in the intro scene, but he was, and I read 2 things. One, that they included him in the intro and killed off his character so quickly to try and get people like, oh shit, like he's a big actor. I thought he was going to be a bigger part in this. And the second was they did kind of a swap and did the same thing where Tom Cruise did a small uncredited role in Young Guns as just a random cowboy in a shootout.
Huh. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I don't even know a single thing Emilio Estevez has been in like since this. Like I don't like immediately recognize him.
I mean, I know him from Young Guns mainly.
I don't even really know what that is.
I'm adding it to the list.
You don't know Young Guns, sir? You don't know Young Guns? Regulators!
Mount up.
Well, I didn't take like hardly any notes. I thought it was funny that he spends like a whole night frantically emailing various like Bible websites, like this cryptic email like over and over again. That was his strategy. And it's like, even if you emailed the right one, like, would they respond to you? Like, you don't know how they like are conversing or whatever, you know? I just thought that was an odd thing to do. Like a odd way to write that sequence out.
It was funny to me because I have never heard of Job and I don't know, I'm not familiar with the Bible at all. And it takes them a while to actually say that out loud before Tom Cruise is just typing it out all the time. And I was like, what's job? I just was reading it as job the whole time. It made more sense.
I think
later.
sometimes it's spelled gob, like G-O-B instead of J-O-B.
Oh, okay.
At least that's how it's spelled in Arrested Development, because one of the characters is named Job.
That's not how Job is spelled. That's not how
in
Bible Job
Arrested
is spelled.
Development?
No, in the Bible. I don't think it's gob.
Why would they spell it like that in that?
Because that's the joke. Because everybody calls him Gob when they just read his name.
Oh, his real name is George Oscar Bluth.
Yes.
So it's G-O-B.
Yes.
Now I feel like a fucking idiot.
Wait, it is Gob or Job?
What is what Gob or Job?
The Bible guy.
His name is
Job.
Job.
It's spelled Job.
But it's spelled Job.
I should have said Gob or Job. My bad.
This is
But also, he probably wasn't real, so it doesn't matter.
Whoa, Carter.
What? You've never read it. You don't get to be
send
like...
us your hate emails.
Yeah, hey. If you think the Bible's real, like word for word, bar for bar, fucking come at me.
We can go scripture for scripture.
We can go scripture for scripture, motherfucker. We can't really. I've only read parts
Is there
of
an
it.
alternate scripture that you would scripture back at them with?
Oh, yeah. The scripture of D's nuts. Abel's so disappointed in
Burn.
that.
Read
Abel's
that
so
out, Chris.
disappointed. Abel's so disappointed in that joke.
Burn.
Look.
I've been saying that at my work a lot, just to try to piss people off.
What, D's nuts or
Burn?
burn?
Burn. Like I said, we're bringing back like saying burn whenever someone like owns somebody.
I didn't like when everyone started to call it roasting.
Why is that?
Because we're not comedians. We're not all. That's not like a term we get to claim. I don't think.
That's a term we get to
That's
claim
cultural
whatever term.
appropriation.
We get to do whatever we want.
Burn.
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 Roasted.
What are the notes we got?
Dude, I didn't really take.
Cardi,
This is
did
one of
you
those.
want-
Only 2 notes.
I didn't really take any notes because, like, it's a very simple. It just is a fine movie that you watch. You
It's
know?
also like pretty humorless for the most part.
Yeah, it's not.
I wrote that there was an absurd amount of water in the fish tank scene.
Yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't have acted like that in real life. I wish this was more realistic.
It was like, give or take, let's say, I'll be generous, 15 feet by 4 feet, and then like 5 feet tall. It's a sizable fish tank, right? It bursts, and then a tsunami washes through this restaurant, and water falls from the ceiling too. So I don't know where that water came from, but the entire restaurant gets flooded and onto the street.
Was that restaurant? That was like a rendezvous point for the task force, and all of the staff and patrons were like other agents.
I thought it was where Ethan arranged to meet Kittredge.
It is, but Kittredge has people there. That's the.
And he also says meet at this location, like using a code name, like they've already like planned on meeting there. It seems like by the end of that time there in the movie, like that it's maybe run by the CIA or whatever. And it just made me think about like this restaurant that was down the street from my childhood home that nobody was ever in, but was there for like 15 years. Was that like a CIA like?
It was a front.
Yeah, that's a money laundering front, buddy. That's not the CIA.
I thought it was a money laundering scheme, but like it could also be like a spy place. Yeah, that's way more exciting.
Yeah, but like what spy shit is going on in Bellingham, Washington? You know what I mean?
You don't fucking know, dude.
I think I do.
There could be a lot of shit.
Public urination.
If we did know, then it wouldn't be spy shit.
Did you say public urination, Mason?
Yeah. I saw a woman pissing on the street. There's no spy shit going on in Bellingham.
No, I'd be spying on those people when they be pissing.
Abel, no.
Dude, I watched somebody piss like 10 times today.
Who?
My uncle.
Oh.
We were golfing, and he broke the seal, and just couldn't stop pissing, man. Drinking beer while we were golfing, just couldn't stop pissing.
What beer?
It seemed like a mix, but there was some Coors Lights in there. Can't remember everything he was pulling out.
It was all just a haze
dick
of beer
to piss in the woods.
Yeah, it was a haze of piss and beer. It was the Mother's Day tournament. He did not win.
That's a shame. That's a goddamn shame.
It's a shame. My dad took the crown.
Oh. Mason, you didn't? What the fuck's wrong with you?
No, dude.
What are you doing? You got to win.
I have a huge handicap because I'm like a year into golf. To be fair, though, I played out of my mind today. I played so good.
At a kid.
I've only golfed once, and I was just people had to like lap us.
No, you let people play through all the time, because then you aren't under any pressure. You can take your time and you just have fun.
That's true.
It's hard to get good. Though. Like there's a huge skill gap in golf, and that's what kind of got me into it.
I was like so terrible. I don't think I ever want to play again.
At the beginning, that's what it feels like. It's tough to get past that.
I don't have any interest in getting past it either, though.
Yeah, there's also that.
Much rather play like other sports for fun.
Abel's a pickleball guy.
I don't like pickleball. If I'm going to play a racket sport, it's going to be tennis all day or badminton.
I whoop in pickleball.
I will end you, Mason.
If you're coming back up here, we can start running pickleball, Carter.
I actually haven't played pickleball since
I'll run your shit.
I will run your shit, even though I haven't played pickleball since high school. But I will run your shit, dude. I live in the valley. Do you understand?
That doesn't mean anything.
I will fuck you up.
I'm white as can be.
You think you're whiter than me, son? Can be.
Yeah, I'm meant for it. You witnessed high school team sports pickleball. It's a demon.
Are we ready to rate this movie? I don't have a quote.
I did read about it.
Do you have a quote?
Not quote yet. It's the only Mission Impossible where Ethan doesn't fire a gun, I guess.
Huh.
Like there's no gunfights, really. So
that's a bit of fun.
Check out
you
the
said
later
that
movies.
Like there was more.
No, I just thought it was
That's-
interesting because from an action film, I think, especially in this era, you would expect some gunfighting.
Yeah.
True. I mean,
I'm
a
honestly
lot of
surprised
people
that
get
it's
shot.
the first one that doesn't have it, and then they always have it.
Well, it has
Yeah, but
guns.
there's no like
Ethan just doesn't shoot anybody.
dueling.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Does anybody have any quotes? I don't have a quote.
I got one.
I didn't have one, but I went on IMDb last minute and found one. I was like, oh yeah, this is a good one.
If you,
Alright.
dude, if it's mine, I'm gonna be so mad.
Okay, it might be.
Go ahead,
You
Abel.
can go first.
No,
You
go.
first.
Abel, go.
It's the CIA guy. He's getting talked to. What about this guy? The guy who is responsible for the heist, kind of. And he goes, I want him manning a radar tower in Alaska at the end of the day. Just mail him his clothes. I
Brutal.
thought that was kind of funny.
Brutal. Fucker's getting sent to Alaska.
That would be really crazy if he was like he got him to Alaska from Virginia by the end of the day.
He could do it.
Yeah, it's the CIA. Like, people be disappearing here, man.
I feel like we're giving the CIA a
My
lot of
favorite
credit.
quote,
Go ahead.
great
Mason.
organization. Great organization. Great work they do.
I love it.
Um,
I hate democracies in
My
other
favorite,
countries.
my favorite, tear him down. My favorite quote, and Saul already knew this. My favorite quote was Emilio Estevez in the beginning. He sort of acts like the tech guy in the beginning, and he gives Tom Cruise a couple little gadgets. One of which is some chewing gum, which is 2 different colors, and if you pinch the 2 halves together and press it together into a ball, it like explodes. He uses this twice in the movie. But when Emilio Estevez gives it to him in the beginning, he warns him not to eat it. And he goes, hasta lasagna, don't get any on ya. Top tier quote.
I did scroll past that one on IMDb and I was like, I'm not picking that one, but I have respect for it, you know?
Respect, it's a good one. All
No,
right,
it's
Carter,
good.
you did not have any quotes?
I don't really have a quote. I'm just going to go with your mission should you choose to accept it.
What?
Sure.
That's the
That's
mission.
the quote.
That's the Mission Impossible thing.
This is a one-off segment where I'm going to rate Carter's quote. That's a 1 out of 10 quote.
No, that's fine. I just can't. I just literally, literally, I didn't have a quote. It's from the show.
Literally?
It's like watching Empire Strikes Back and going, my favorite quote was, I'm your father. And it's like, well, that's not like a bad quote, but
It's not great without context.
it's the easy choice.
It's the easy
Yeah.
choice. That's it. I'm going with the ease of choice here. I'm off my game today.
Sometimes movies just don't have that many good quotes.
No.
Even if they are a pretty good movie.
All right, rating time.
Tuna no crust.
Nobody likes the tuna here. Yeah, well, I do.
And then he gets called an F slur for wanting the tuna.
What is this guy? Tuna crazy? What is this guy?
This guy's sandwich crazy?
This
What did you
guy's-
put in that sandwich?
There's like so many sandwich related quotes. in
Yeah,
there.
there's we hit all of them.
That's our running segment of, oh, there's a good sandwich quote in this movie. Movies with the best sandwich quotes. Can't think of any other ones.
This
right
week's
now.
movie, we had a sandwich moment. We'll touch back on it later, but there was a sandwich moment.
In this one?
No, we will just
No.
keep an eye out for sandwich moments now. in
There's no
movies.
sand-
I'm going to forget about this as soon as we stop recording.
Not a
There's
chance.
no sandwich moments in this movie. Mason, what are you going to rate Mission Impossible
No,
1, the first mission?
That's what it's called. Mission
For-
Impossible 1, the first mission.
For
Yeah, I gave it a
action
subtitle.
films and for late 90s and for establishing the Mission Impossible franchise and where it's at now, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 because I also felt like maybe some of the dialogue felt a little explanatory to me sometimes where, you know, they're explaining what's going on in their dialogue, like, oh, we got the knock file. Now we got to take it to Max, and they're explaining basically everything what's going on. There was a couple moments that felt like that, but overall, I felt like the plot from start to finish was pretty good, and seeing it for the first time, I liked it. I didn't call the twists. The only one I called was it Jim was the bad guy?
Yeah.
His wife, who like buddies up with Tom Cruise, the way she buddied up so quick, I was like, this lady is suspect as fuck. I don't trust her one bit.
Also, why is his wife
So I called her
so much younger?
Also suspect.
Suspect as fuck.
Hey, you're talking about the wife of the ambassador to Hollywood. That's what John Voight's current occupation is. He's an actor and ambassador to Hollywood.
To who? Who is he?
Under Trump. Along with Mel Gibson and Sylvester Stallone.
Dope.
I was about to say, does ambassador just mean you have a star on the Walk of Fame?
No, like it's a government thing. Like they're special ambassadors to like do nothing. It's a bullshit position. Just
bullshit. It's meaningless.
Semantics.
What do you rate it?
I'm gonna go with 7 too.
Okay.
It was good. The action's good. Plot's good. The twist is not great. You can see the twist coming from 1,000 miles away. If you've ever seen a movie before, you're like, there's the bad guy, and there's his wife who's also a bad guy.
Just like John Voight in real life.
The other main problem I had is the dialogue is real like it doesn't sound like anybody's having a conversation. They're all talking at each other.
Yeah.
The dialogue is very like, say your line. Now you say your line, which is a witty retort. Now you say your line. Now exposition. Scene end.
It's a very straightforward plot first movie.
Yes.
They all kind of are like that. And I think it's kind of fun, but if you like lose focus for like a second, you miss out on shit.
Well, also the crew has a lot more chemistry later. Like in later movies, the team has a lot more chemistry and it's a lot more like fun. Whereas this one, it's like,
yeah, for sure.
It's kind of just Tom Cruise until the heist, and then Tom Cruise doesn't really do anything but yell at the people during the heist. And then he flirts with the obvious traitor. That's all the human interaction we get. So I'm gonna go with 7.
This is funny because I'm also gonna go with 7.
Across the board.
Across the board.
Yeah.
Should we just say bingo every time that happens?
Bingo.
Yeah, it's a bingo. Last bingo was The Departed, I think. We yell bingo. We peek our microphone.
Yo, we had a rating, and bingo was his fucking name-o.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Put some dubstep behind that, and then that'll be what they play that as a sound effect.
Abel, explain your rating.
I'm sorry, Abel. I'm losing my
This
fucking
movie's
mind.
a lot of fun. The plot is quite twisty. I don't know if I could like I've seen this movie a couple times. Like I know that it's John Voight is the bad guy, the traitor, the whole time. But I like kind of forget how the rest of the movie goes. I forget that one of the guys on the crew is also a bad guy. I was like, why isn't he not in more movies? Oh, because he dies and he's also like a villain.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that part. Yeah, just a lot of fun. If the set pieces in this one were like later in the series, it would be like, oh, come on, guys. But it's the first one, so it's like, yeah, these are cool. These are good. And you go to like the 6th one where he's fucking like driving a bike off a cliff and fucking parachuting after that.
Oh, it's so sick.
That jump scene is so fucking cool. The fucking 3rd act of the 7th one where they're on the train that's like going off a cliff. That's nuts.
Dude,
That shit is
action
insane.
sequences on a train.
Goated shit, man.
It's top tier shit.
Top
They
tier.
put it in everything now.
Because trains are cool.
7 out of 10. Cross the board.
Bingo.
Yeah, we liked it.
I liked it.
It's time for what's up? What the fuck is up, man?
What's up, a-holes?
What's up, assholes?
We be saying that shit. Carter, what's up?
Dude,
What have you been watching?
I literally have done nothing. I've
And/or
been in
reading.
and out of. Well, give me a second.
Andor.
Andor. I don't want to talk about Andor because the season finale comes out next week. But I have really not watched anything. I've been in and out of a hospital for a couple days. So, not me. I'm fine. Just some family stuff. So, which is also why I sound like I'm losing my mind and done and not really doing my normal podcast stuff, is because I am losing my mind and I am done and I don't want to do anything ever again. But I am halfway done with the audiobook of Dune.
Oh, hell yeah.
And
That's quick.
I've got notes.
Yes.
I unlike Mason, I still really love the movie. So far, there are a couple things I have beef with. Not beef. Here's for listeners, I am a very big fan, and I am a proponent of the theory killing the author. And what that means is that movies and books are different mediums, and they can be different stories, right? So if you think you can, if like you're making a movie of Dune, there's certain stuff in Dune that does not lend itself to the medium of film. So at a certain point, you have to kill your author a little bit, you know?
Yes.
Which doesn't make the book worse. It just makes the movie different. But I also believe that if you do a worse thing than the book by making it completely different or completely change the meaning of the story and what it represents theme-wise, then you fucked it up.
If you've changed it and it works worse than it would have if you just adapted it.
Yes.
If I'm only going to interject with one point on that, Carter, I would say, from my opinion, the differences that you see so far in the first Dune book and the first Dune movie, I think are small enough differences, as you've stated, but I think you won't really see the ramifications of those until the story's more drawn out and more movies are out.
Here's my biggest gripe. First off, the way they do the Bene Gesserit powers in the movie, they have to do them like that in the movie, because in the book, they're not really powers. They're just the peak of human observation. And in the book, that's cool. In the movie, noticing someone telling the truth is not that cool of a power in a sci-fi movie. So I totally understand why they did it that way. The thing I think the movie did better than the book in terms of having a movie character in Paul Atreides is that in the book, Paul becomes an unfeeling robot way sooner than in the movie. And it's jarring. But that's it. That's about it. Otherwise, so far, I like that the book gives more insight into a lot of characters, and I like that you're getting more of a personal connection with the characters. But in the book, they escape the Harkonnen. Spoilers, obviously. But in the book, they escape the Harkonnens, and Paul immediately goes into, I can see the future mode. And he, figures out a bunch of things that I think could have been tense, suspense-filled things for him to figure out later in the story. And I think that's what the movie did. And I think it added a lot of suspense and tension for a lot of characters, which is why they changed it.
Part of the groundwork, I think, in that is you watch what that kind of power does to Paul. And there's a very popular or a common phrase they use later where Paul has conversations with multiple people about this, but he goes, knowing one's future could quite possibly lock you into it in unintentionally creating that future you saw rather than having a perception of free will to choose what path you go down.
Right.
Say that again.
Paul can see into the future and he has a lot of thoughts that it's unavoidable. Once you peer into the future, there's not really a way to get around it, whereas those who aren't able to look into the future have, at least if it's not actual free will, the perception of free will to choose the path that they go in life, whereas Paul felt locked into his path and he felt like there was no way he could get off of it no matter what he tried.
It's the Greek myth paradox, or not even paradox, it's just the thing Greek myths teach us.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which is, in your effort to change your fate, you bring about your... in an effort to change your fate of doom, you bring about your own. But...
Or no, I think you were kind of correct in the first place, because it's not always doom, but in an effort to, change your fate, you unintentionally create what you foresaw, or what was fated.
But also in the book, it's I was talking to my whatever. I'll finish the book and then we can have a longer.
You're not fully at the end yet, so you have a partial chunk of the story.
We'll have a longer conversation about it. Maybe not on this, but on some other platform. But that's it. That's That's all I've been doing is going to hospitals and listening to audiobooks. What about you two? What you been up to?
I actually went to the movie theater a couple times, which I haven't been doing much of as of late. I saw Sinners, partly because, Carter, you recommended it so strongly, but also because everything about it seemed really, really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw it, and it was really, really, really good. I thought it was like pretty outstanding in every way. I kind of loved it. And I really like what you said about Ryan Coogler, about how he's going to be like remembered as one of the greats by the end of his career. Like, I'm so excited to see what he does next. Like, I have no idea what kind of movie it's going to be, because he's kind of just done a lot.
Also, the reason he's one of the greats is because he can be great at making like any type of movie. You know?
Yeah, like Spielberg kind of.
Yes.
I don't know. It's like a horror movie, but it's not like really about the horror for a lot of it. Like, the horror is like a fun part of it, but the overall message and the character growth is like the thematic core of the movie. And the horror is just like a plot device and like a fun thing in this movie that's about a lot of things. So it's weird calling it a horror movie because it is, but it isn't. I'd give it a 9. I'm open to giving it a 10, but I kind of want to, I keep thinking about it like randomly and just thinking about different parts of it. I still kind of want to unpack some of it. Highly recommend Sinners. And then a couple days later, I went to go see Thunderbolts. I skipped Captain America, which is like the first Marvel MCU movie that I've skipped in theaters for a while, since I think Ant-Man and the Wasp in 2018, I believe. So I almost did that with Thunderbolts, but I heard it was good. It looked pretty good. I was like, you know what? I should just go see it. And it was pretty good. I would say it's kind of in the vein of like the first Guardians of the Galaxy, kind of fun misfit adventure. Yeah, the performances were great. I loved that it was a Marvel movie that was like about something and not just like a superhero movie. Like, it felt like there was an actual thematic core. It was very blatant and hit you over the head with it a lot, but I was happy with it. I liked the message a lot. I thought it was sweet and well done.
It's also for kids. Sorry to cut you off. I hate that criticism of movies when they're like, oh, the theme was really blatant. Yeah. People are dumb. Have you met people?
It's a fucking superhero movie.
Yeah, that's the point, dude. That's actually the entire genre of superhero, is that they have very blatant themes that they just say over and over and over again. They just say them. They don't.
Yeah.
That's the fucking point. But sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I've just heard that criticism a lot of the superhero genre, and I'm like, that's the genre, dipshit. That's like being like, I don't know, I don't like all this crime in these gangster movies. I'm not a fan of all this crime.
I think it was a good thing in this movie, because so many Marvel movies, like Captain America 4, like, what would you say is the moral of Captain America 4?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, so you have just as much of an idea of it as I do. I have no clue. I hate that movie. The more I think about it, I hate it so much. Thunderbolts is good, though. I like where it's going, what it's leading into, too, with like the ending reveal of the team name that I'm not going to ruin, even though Marvel ruined it themselves with the marketing, which is so annoying. It's getting me on the Marvel hype train again. I hope they know what they're doing.
Hopefully.
I'm not entirely sure that they do, but I'm excited.
We'll find out in Fantastic
I would give
Four.
Thunderbolts a 7. Watching the NBA playoffs, which is going to date the shit out of this. Hopefully not too much, because go Timberwolves. I think I'm a Timberwolves fan now. Dude,
This guy moves to a new city for 3 seconds. You know they're gonna do the
We could
expansion
really
in
date
like 2 years.
ourselves. Carter, I think Obama's got this one on lock. I think he's pulling through this year.
Yeah, he's gonna win. He's gonna win big for the Timberwolves.
The Timberwolves.
We're on the future, dude.
Obama's balling out.
For the Timberwolves. Abel goes to a new. Mason, can you imagine if I moved to LA and I called you after like 6 months and I was like, yo, I think I'm a Lakers fan?
Dude, fucking Seattle doesn't have a team.
Mm-mm.
For now.
They keep saying that they're gonna get one, but they
For now.
aren't.
Yeah, and fucking.
I don't care. They weren't there when I needed them.
That's true. I do have to explain to a lot of people in LA why I don't watch basketball.
One of my coworkers was like astounded that Seattle actually didn't have a team. He just thought that they had one. How do you not? How do you follow back? Like he's a basket.
How do
Like,
you
this
not
guy
know?
Enough
watches-
of
There's
this
not that
New
many
York
teams.
bullshit. Just give us the Nets and we'll rename it. Yeah.
Give us the
That's
Nets.
what everyone's.
They're not
clamoring
giving up.
for.
They're not giving up
Brooklyn,
the
you don't
Knicks.
need a fucking
that's
team.
not feasible at all. But give us the Nets. Nobody cares about the Nets.
I mean, of the two, that's
Exactly.
the
We'll rebuild.
Dogwater franchise they should give up.
With the Clippers.
Rebuild, Carter.
Rebuild the Knicks.
No, the Nets.
Oh, if we're doing sports talk, hey Utah, fuck you and your Mammoths. Biggest downgrade in sports history.
Is that what they went with?
They went with the Mammoths, and it's this fucking minimalist bullshit.
What else
Their
were they
logo.
gonna do? I remember when they were like discussing it. They like didn't have any good ones.
No, you know what they could have done? Just stayed the Coyotes.
Yeah, that would have been honestly cool. They needed to get a new logo because that fucking Coyotes logo was so ugly.
That's incorrect.
That was the ugliest. Like,
No, incorrect.
Major League Sports.
No, incorrect.
Incorrect.
Incorrect, sir. Incorrect, sir. The Arizona Coyotes logo is actually legit. It is a great designed logo. It is a very well designed logo.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Mason, what are you up to?
I'm reading the third Dune novel right now, Children of Dune, but I don't want to talk about that. Obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Have both of you watched The Last of Us?
No,
I'm not caught up, but
not season
I
2.
have been watching it.
Okay. I guess I don't have to discuss spoiler points. I am liking it now. First episode, I was struggling. I
Yeah.
hated everybody. I thought everyone was so bitchy, and I was like, there's nobody who seems... You know how you connect with somebody in a show and you're like, oh, this is my person on this show. I'm ride or die for this person. I was like, I hate everyone in this show right now. So for the first episode, I was like, I don't have a hero. But now it's getting pretty good.
It's because everyone was just like complaining about stuff because they weren't in dire need of like survival. No one had like any kind of purpose at that moment besides just like living.
Yeah, but it's
Not to
also
spoil
like,
too much.
I don't know, because you haven't seen there's 4 episodes out right now, right?
I think I've seen 3. I have not seen
Okay.
the 4th one, and I think the 5th one must come out tonight.
Yeah. There's a conversation that's a spoiler, so I won't really talk about it, but just the delivery of the conversation, it's like a conversation between Ellie and is it Dina? Is that
Dina, yeah.
It's a conversation between Ellie and Dina, and just the way that it's like it's them blurting things out to each other, like 3-word sentences, and then they just start making out. And I was like, what was that conversation? That was not even any type of that was not a real conversation at all.
Do you like that or no?
No, because it was like I literally kind of threw my hands up in the air and I was like, what the fuck am I watching right now? In terms of the overall plot and how it's developing, I'll keep watching the show. I'll see how it ends.
Yeah, I think that they renewed it. Like the second game is the next 2 seasons, or this season.
Oh, okay. I thought it was this season and that was it.
No,
I think it's 2 because I think this season's only 7
Okay.
episodes.
All right. Only one thing left to do then, gentlemen.
It's Carter's spin.
Ugh.
Boy.
Yo, let's spin it up.
Spinning.
I'm so excited for this to spin. Oh, I gotta pick a movie, don't I? Toy commercial.
What does that mean?
Yes.
Like a movie that's like made to sell toys.
I came up with
Give me
this.
some examples.
I'm
Like
about
the
to give you some
Transformers
examples.
Movie.
I'm about to give you.
like any of them.
I'm about to give you some examples, but also This is more for when we start doing series. That's what this was supposed
I'm
to be
thinking
for.
series is what's coming to mind. Because those are the big franchises that sell a lot of merchandise.
What? I mean, the funny thing to do would be to pick Battleship, the movie Battleship. But I'm not going to do that because then I have to watch it. I'm going to go with 1986 Transformers.
The movie. Transformers the movie.
Transformers the movie. 1986, baby. For you have the touch and the power.
I think I watched part of this like with friends and I like wasn't paying attention. We were just like chit-chatting through the whole thing, but I didn't retain any of it, but I did recently-ish watch a like YouTube video discussing this movie. I do have a semi-encyclopedic level knowledge of the Michael Bay Transformers movies, though, so this will be fun.
Abel, we can't let the Allspark fall into Carter's hands.
Dude.
The pillars!
Don't even.
Seed!
If you guys are going to try to out-nerd me on Transformers, you're going to be sorely, sorely fucking mistaken, alright?
I'm going to try to out-nerd you on the Michael Bay Transformers movies, not about Transformers themselves.
Alright, okay. Alright, that's fine. That one's fine.
No, it's acceptable.
That one's acceptable, but if you try to come at me on Transformers knowledge, you're going to get fucking wrecked.
I'm going to get burned, dude.
You're going to get burned.
Roasted.
You're going to get burned and roasted.
This dude doesn't know shit about Cybertron. Burn!
Dude doesn't know shit about Cybertron.
Doesn't even know the
shit about
Arrakis.
Cybertron.
I bet this guy Abel doesn't even know Optimus Prime's hardest quote.
No, I don't. Clearly.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not the fucking Transformers expert.
Yeah, exactly, motherfucker.
Is it the I've Come?
No.
My favorite one is from one of the Michael Bay movies where he goes, "I'll kill you all." Or whatever. I don't know. He just talks about like killing people all the time. And it's like, I don't think Optimus Prime would say that.
Michael Bay's Optimus Prime is a complete sociopath.
At the end of the third one, he just fucking just destroying people. Like, does he like blow Megatron's head off?
Yes. But yeah, Transformers. That's the pick. Do we have any emails or anything?
No emails.
Next week, Transformers. And remember, kids, freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Bye!
Fear is the mind killer.
Take care, everybody.